Queens, and welcome to Black Queens Uncut. Grab your wine, your vape, or whatever you need to relax because we're about to get into this queen chat. I'm Monique Loveless. Ladies, let them know who you are.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Kiki Boom Boom.
Hola, it's TK Trinidad.
And it is all about girlfriends tribute. Woo! So it's just
my girlfriends.
Go ahead and sing the
my girlfriends. You guys see the memes where people are like yelling, "They're too thick and dense."
Oh my gosh. So it's just us queens today to give the tribute. Just us three today to give the tribute to girlfriends. We wanted an upbeat episode with everything going on, and girlfriends was such a part of our community. No matter who you are, no matter what queen you are, where you come from, it was a pillar in our community, just like Moesha or the Parkers. The Parkers was on at my house all the time.
Love the Parkers.
October the 5th, they come out. So yeah, what's this tribute? Who do y'all feel like you're most like? What character? Which one? Tony, Lynn, Maya, or Joan?
So I have to be honest. So I actually never watched Girlfriends before.
It's okay.
Yeah, I never watched it, but however, I'm watching it now and I absolutely love it. So I definitely think I'm a combination of I think it's a combination of three actually. Like Joan, Tony, and Lynn.
Oh, I can see that. Kiki, what about you?
It's the same. So my favorite character is different from who I relate to. Okay. So I can tell you who I relate to, then I'll tell you my favorite character. So who I related to growing up was more Lynn, Joan, and a little bit of Tony, but not a lot of Tony. Mm-hmm. And only because like Lynn was super like spiritual and she was super like in the wind, and I really related more to Lynn than anybody. I just loved everything about Joan. I loved like everything that she was about, and that's why I was like, oh, I feel like I'm more like her. Tony because of the sarcasm, and Maya because of the jokes. So like I feel like I can pick a little bit out of like a little bit of them in me. But mine's will mostly be Lynn. My favorite character is actually Tony. Because to me, she was the baddest bitch, and to have a dark-skinned woman on this show be the baddest bitch for me was everything. And I seen an interview with Mara Brock Akil where she said she fought for Jill Marie, who played Tony, because she is a chocolate girl, and how the stations were like, we don't see it. Mm-hmm. So I love that she won that battle, and Tony is my favorite character, though I don't really relate to Tony, and I don't think we're anything alike. I just love her character, but I feel like I'm more like Lynn.
Do you feel like you're more like Lynn now?
Now, that is a good question. Damn, I think I don't want to say Joan, because now that I'm looking at it more, Joan like was always looking for a man. I'm like, no, that's nothing like me now. I would say I'm more like maybe Lynn and Maya, because I feel like Maya hated everybody, and I feel like the older I get, I'm getting to be a little bit of a Maya, where she's like, I can't deal with any of this. So I feel like now I'm more like Lynn and Maya, but when I was growing up watching it, I feel like I was more Lynn and Joan, and my favorite character is Tony.
Okay, got it.
I think I would love to be a Tony. I would love to be a bad bitch about her money, like about that life, not playing any games. But I don't think like I absorb that. I don't absorb Tony.
I was told, and now I can agree. I was told I am, which I feel. Okay, let me go off of what I feel. Like I am a mix of Tony and Maya, with maybe just like a splash of Joan. I was told that I remind somebody, and this was a guy. I was told that he was like, you remind me of Joan and Tony. And at first I was a little offended, like, what? There's no like nothing, no freedom there, no like wittiness there. There's like just intensity. But He said something along the lines, he didn't want to text it back to me because you know how difficult people get. But he said along the lines, like, he was like, no, I feel like you're like Tony because it's like you do look out for yourself. You're not self-centered, but you do look out for yourself. And you also keep men accountable for their finances. And I was like, that was a cute way of putting it.
I like that.
And then the part about Joan, he was like, yeah, you have a little bit of where you like things exactly how you like them. And and something else. I can't remember it all the way, but it was positive. And I was like, okay, good. I'm glad that came off as positive. My favorite character is Maya. And I love Maya. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm a mix of Maya and maybe Tony.
I can see that.
Yeah, with a splash of Joan a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm a mix of Maya and Tony. Maya is like one of my favorite though. I love
Maya. I love Golden, who plays her. I love the character. And that's why I said I see more Maya in me now that I'm an adult, where I was more Lynn when I was younger. And I still have a little bit of Lynn, but I just feel like Maya just doesn't play any games. She's not here for the game, and she's ready to check someone. And that's what I loved about her. And I know, like, people looked at her on TV as, like, the hood character, like the hood girlfriend. But I was like, no, she wasn't at all. Yeah, like, she was just, like, the strong black woman who was like, look, who had the fine husband Darnell. Like, and she was able to check her friend. She would check Tony for getting her baby's name wrong 1,000,000 times. Like, I just loved everything about Maya. Maya was lit.
I love Maya because she's that. I love seeing her glow up. Like, she was the real character that progressed in a way that her progression was really positive. And it was like, I didn't come from where y'all came from. I didn't have I don't have the backgrounds of, you know, the real estate or the money or becoming a lawyer or, you know, I'm not a freeloader. So I'm going to make this work. I came from this background, but now that this is my environment, I want more and I'm going to go for that. And I loved that about her.
That's what I really liked about it too, just because, like, it gave a positive example. Because you have, you know, people who say, oh, well, you know, I was just dealt this hand and I'm just going to stay this way or that way. And it really gave, like, a positive example that, okay, well, if you don't like where you are, it's not necessarily the cliche of, like, pull yourself by the bootstraps, but it's more of like, all right, like, work for whatever works for you. And she did that with the husband, and she did that with the child. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, yeah, and it also did play into the stereotype of, you know, the welfare queen or all this other stuff. Like, it was a really realistic version of a possibility and how you can take yourself from one point to the other. So I really do like Maya's character because it's just inspirational.
Yeah, she's great.
She is. She definitely is. From the show, what you can remember and what you do know right now, TK, from the show, what are some of the takeaways that y'all got from the show or lessons?
I love it because, like, Mara Brock Akil, which I love Mara, and she's such a great writer. And I just felt like on this show, they touched on so many things. Mm-hmm. Racism, sexism, like ageism, like everything that Girlfriends touched up on. It was always a lesson. And I remember being younger, being like, oh, this is so cool to see, like, 4 Black girlfriends and William deal with these problems and deal with these issues in the Black community. So I feel like the takeaway also is, like, having a strong group of friends, whether that's girlfriends, guy friends, because it can become family. And sometimes you outgrow your friends. Sometimes you get new friends. Sometimes you'll have the same old friends. So I do appreciate Mara for touching on all these different topics. Because my favorite episode is when Lynn has to check her white friend about the N-word. Like, that's one of my favorite. Her sister, her white sister. Her adopted white sister about that. So I just love how Mara touched about on all, like, different topics.
Yeah, I'm finishing up season 1, and I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but I love the fact that, like, how old is the show? Like 10 years old or something like that?
I think it's 20 because I think it was like a spinoff. Like, after Moesha, Mara used to write on Moesha, and Golden makes an appearance as Maya on Moesha. So I think it's about 20 years old.
Yeah, so the show's 20 years old, and it's still relevant. Like, Joan and her dating issues, there's I text Monique and I call them my Sex in the City moments. I guess I should just call them my girlfriend moments, because there's just some things that happen just like this is happening right now. And it's the fact that it's just so like poignant even 20 years later that you can relate to. It's not one of those shows that's like, oh yeah, that was cool. But it's like, nah, like the stuff that they're going through and the conversations that they're having, it's very relevant to me today. I think it's also too because I didn't really have like I wasn't a girlfriend's girl. I was a lone wolf. I just did stuff that I needed to do. So I have a lot more female friends now. So I think it's just more, I'm kind of seeing like, oh shit, this is a thing. So I love the fact that the writing just
don't forget to thank me. Don't forget to thank me for that.
You see, Kiki, this is I have to be dealing with. So, you know, then you have to deal with people like Monique and Kiki, and it's just, but you know, it presents more girlfriend problems that I'm seeing that I see in the show. So kudos to the writers, because the show does stand up to time, which is incredible.
It really is. And I just saw a interview that they had with Charlamagne back in December, and it was really good because it talked about how this is still these episodes are still hitting to today, which makes it timeless. That's the word I was looking for. Timeless.
Very timeless.
It's such a timeless show. It still hits on the subjects that hit us now. Like, we're in our 30s. It hits us to this point now. We're understanding, them a little more. I feel like we grow with them, when you're in high school, you can, or however old you are when you start. If you're younger, it's just kind of like, oh, I don't know if I know a lot of subjects or I relate to a lot of subjects. But now watching it, as far as I did, I know when I was younger, when I would watch it, I was just like, oh yeah, I like their personalities, and I would go off of that. But now rewatching the show and really understanding their life is really like, oh my gosh, like, I can relate to that. Oh my gosh, I can relate to that. And the subjects and the topics that they brought up are just timeless for our community. Yeah.
It's funny that like now that we're in our 30s, I'm like, I can relate to like Sex in the City, Girlfriends, Living Single, because we were kids when all these shows came out. So now that we're in our 30s and we're going through what Joan is trying to go through with these dating situations. Right. I'm going through with the Carries and like the Samanthas. I'm like, wait, hold up. So I do find it interesting that now today as adults in our 30s, I can look back and relate to these women on Girlfriends. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's deeper than that. Like it's bigger than that.
Right, it definitely is. And I just love the subjects that they talked about. They had an episode where I really liked this episode because it was like Lynn was coming into her own when even though she's, doing music now, but she was doing the documentaries, and she did the AIDS documentary. And that was a subject that hits our community a lot. And we don't talk about it as much now, but it's still a thing. It's still happening, and what's happening and how it's happening, they approach that situation. Also, I love that they made them work together, even though a lot of the times they weren't listening to each other. It was like they were each other's support, but they never really listening to
never.
I know that feeling.
Listening to each other, but they were like funny. There was one episode where Lynn was like, everybody came because they had something going on, and Lynn was like, Tony goes first, then
I saw that. Yeah.
And they were like, why does it go like that? And it was like, because we don't want to listen to Tony all day. She got to get out of the way. We want her to listen. They each moved to the couch to hear, like, to tap each person, like, oh, he's this, he's that. It was so great. And then they would jump back to their places and tell their story. It was like, y'all were never really like listening to each other.
No. They didn't really flesh it out. Like they just like, all right, cool. Like you can get over it. It's not that serious.
Right. And then they were also really good friends because I feel like they had such a friendship where they could tell each other, like check each other about themselves. Like, no, you weren't right about that. Or, you're doing the most this time, or you're acting like this. You know, they were really straightforward with each other, which I think a lot of women aren't with each other. So I felt like that was really good too. I feel like those were lessons to kind of like take away as well. Who in y'all's lives are y'all's girlfriends? Like, who are these people that you would call like your girlfriends? This would be your people.
I have my main tribe. Like, it's funny because like I have different groups of different friends. So I have like my middle school friends, my high school friends, my girlfriends that I met in college.
You still have middle school friends?
Yeah, because a lot of the middle school kids I went to school with, we went to high school together. So, and I'm still friends with my best friend is my friend from 4th grade. Like, that's my dog. Like, I was her maid of honor. That's my best friend in the whole wide world. But a lot of us kids went to high school together. So that's why I mean, like, but then in high school, it like boiled down to like 4 main, you know what I'm saying, girls, and then college and the people that I met when I moved back to New York. So I have my tribe. I have my specific friends that I talk to now and every day. Then I have my LA friends. So that's why I'm like, there's so many different groups. But I do notice that in each group, it's like a tribe of like 4 or 5 of us. And like each of those groups, so I don't have a specific, but I do have my main crews from like different generations. And a lot of people I don't speak to a lot or every day. But when we do speak, it's like we never stop speaking. Then I have my group. I do have my like 4 friends that I speak to almost every day, whether it's text or we're on someone's social media just replying back to each other.
Right. I agree. I feel like I have my tribes. Like, I have one of my best friends is from high school. We don't have to talk for like a whole year. Our whole lives can move forward within a year or even 2. But when we talk, we just pick up right where we left off, or we know we will always be there for one another. We've been through some shit even back in high school. Like, that girl, she knows everything about me. Even if it's a year down the line, like, she will roll up in LA and be like, what's wrong? And I'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, no, you're going to tell me what's wrong. Or she'll be like, oh, you're looking great. Life must be great for you. Like, it's like in sync like that. Yeah. But like you said, I do have like my different tribes. I have like a few people here in LA, and then I have like some people in Atlanta and some people back in my hometown that I went, you know what? I'm shitting on you, but I have a friend from elementary.
See, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I got a few friends from like middle school Boston, like my New York middle school friends. I'm not in communication with them, but middle school here in Boston, I'm still friends with a few of them. And again, because we grew up together, and me and my best friend, we didn't go to the same high school, but she's been my best friend since 4th grade. But she's like a sister now. Like, I don't even call her my best friend. Like, I have best friends, but her, I'm like, oh, that's the sis. That's my sister.
Right. Yeah.
Say my best friend is from 2nd grade, but I didn't travel in 4s like y'all. So so what happened was, like, so there's a little high school like reunion and stuff like that, and 2 of my friends, like, they're friends with everybody, and I'm like, why do I not know? Because I went to all girls school. I was like, why don't I know any of these heifers? And I realized I was very like militant and black in high school. Like, I was like really, I read Malcolm X was like in my book bag all 4 years. So I was and our school was like very multicultural. And to me, at that time, if you wasn't black, I wasn't messing with you. So then that really kind of shrunk my friend group. So I have one friend from 2nd grade, same thing. I talk to her I talk to her every year. I call her every year on her birthday at midnight, because I always have to be the first one to say happy birthday to her. And then maybe throughout that, maybe once or twice a year. But it's the same thing. Like, when we talk, it's like nothing happened. And I have another friend, we're both Leos, and it's just this understanding that, again, we don't need to talk all the time. Like, we get it. So it's definitely like, so, but I'm different from y'all. Like, I was the lone wolf that I made like the one person be like, all right, like we cool. Like, I get you. Cool. But I wasn't the traveler in the girls pack. That was not me. If y'all was going left, I was going right, for sure.
I feel that.
Right. I definitely feel like this show, Girlfriends, is one of my favorite shows, because I think it's like one of those shows that show that black women can actually get along. Like, we can actually come together and be friends. Why do y'all believe that's such a hard thing nowadays? Because I feel like it's so hard to really get along with women sometimes.
It can be. I know for me, I was a tomboy. So I did hang out with a lot of guys, but I did hang out with a lot of girls because I was never that girl that wanted to just get rid of girlfriends because we're women. Like, women are very expressive. We know how to express ourselves, and I think we communicate. Men do not. So it's easy to hang with boys because they don't want to fucking talk about anything. But I'd rather be around women, honestly, because you can have those conversations. You can get to know each other. So, and it's hard at times for women to get along. But once you find 2 or 3 or maybe one that really good girlfriend and you find that tribe, you're good to go. Like, I don't think there's anybody on the planet that can't get along with one woman. You know what I'm saying? But again, friendships are also like relationships. And relationships, friendships, intimacy, it all takes work, and both parties have to do the work. Both parties have to communicate. So I say that's for friendships too. Like, you can't just have a 50-sided friendship and then you ain't trying to communicate and I'm like, hey, what's going on? So I think, you know, we can all get along. We just have to want to like put in the work.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I agree too. I retweet all of that because I feel like nowadays we don't get these type of shows. We get a lot of the love and hip hop, and a black woman behind that, and us fighting each other and throwing drinks in each other's faces over stupid shit like men.
Right.
And I'm on a tangent, but shit, that's how I be feeling. I like my trash TV sometimes, but I think stuff like this is really good because I feel like sometimes it is hard, especially for someone like me. It's hard sometimes to get along with women. You have to be a special breed for me to be able to like really keep you in my life.
Yeah.
For, a long period of time. You know how they say people come in your life for a reason, season, a lifetime. Most people in my life are a reason and a season.
Well, that's because you're a Scorpio, and Scorpios don't trust nobody, child.
One more time, Kiki.
It ain't nothing to do with the girls. It's because you are a Scorpio. Scorpios do not trust nobody, and they have a wall up all the damn time.
That is not all the way true. You can penetrate my wall and realize what type of person that I am.
Lies. So you were putting up all my business in season 1, so I'm gonna put up your business. So I was like, Monique, like, I'm looking for a place. It'll be good. So we just save some money. We get a big ass 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. We have our own shit, whatever. I don't know. I don't think we can be friends after that. I said, that's your problem. That's
right. I'm like, is it the girl or is it Monique?
Yeah. No, it is.
So I'm just like, the offer's there, but just, you know, that's all I need.
Scorpios got that wall up, child.
I know.
Scorpio. They don't trust nobody.
I don't know if it's that. Like, I don't know if that has to do with trust. But you're talking about a certain situation where really I already live by myself.
I'm talking about a bigger place.
I'm trying to get no roommate.
I'm talking about
I kind of feel
place.
that.
I get that, but I'm talking about a bigger place. Like, I'm not gonna put it all out there. I'll leave some of the other business alone. But I'm just like, just your first reaction was like, nah, I ain't. You just said no.
On the next episode of Girlfriends,
I know, right?
Monique and TK.
No, okay, I like living on my own. She's like, no, we want to be friends after. That was her first reaction.
Right. That was my first reaction. It's hard to live with other people. Like, I really feel like, and this is off the subject, but I really feel like when I have a husband, I'm gonna be like, hey, you're gonna have to take a week, or I'm gonna have to, like, we have to have
another room or something.
Like, I feel like that is my Scorpio side where I need space. Like, I need space to miss you. Like, that really is one of those things where I need space to be able to miss you. So I feel like what happens is sometimes women can get a little clingy, and I'm like, I got that stronghold that's like, no, I need space. I need space right now. But maybe it is me. Maybe I'll turn it on me.
Maybe. Okay. We'll let that sort itself out by the end of 2020.
No, but no, hey, we've been friends for A minute?
Longer than not necessarily longer than I expected. That was more of an organic thing, but yeah, you're definitely not. I don't even know what the combination is, but like I'm definitely more go with the flow, and you're definitely more like you test the waters.
She's lying. This is the girlfriend's episode right here. The lies. You are not a go with the flow person. When somebody calls you about your ETA and they're not even ready ever.
Wow. We're going to bring this up right now.
On the next episode of Girlfriends, Monique cannot trust TK, and TK is always running late.
Let's bring it up.
Check out next episode.
Let's bring it up. So what Monique is referring to is at the end of the day, there might be some glow with the flow, but most of the time I plan everything out and there's a reason for everything. So if I am late, most of the time I'm not just chilling at home on the couch. I'm not just talking to some dude. It always has to do with business. It always has to do with money. So yes, I apologize for being late, but it's not just because I just feel like being late. So let's put that in the bud.
Let me tell you, she do this all the time, y'all. She talk about she a free flow person. This is a girlfriend.
To an extent. Go on.
Not a free flowing person because when something didn't get posted when she thought it would get posted, she got on text message and was like, "Where is this? And what time is this?"
And did I apologize, Kiki?
You did.
Oh, my bad. It's so excuse me.
That's not free flowing.
Excuse me for looking out for the show.
On the next episode of Girlfriends.
Excuse me for looking out for the show.
Monique wonders why TK.
Did I not call you first? I was like, yo, isn't the post supposed to be up? And you're like, I don't know. All right, cool. I'm going to send a text message. And then when Kiki was like, no, this is how it's always done. My bad. I didn't know. I'm usually like sleep or I'm usually trying to do stuff. It's a whole new schedule. Do you like period? So don't try to throw me under the bus like
we know that TK isn't really free flowing. That's what she likes to think about herself.
No, she's not free flowing at all. She's like, what's going on? I need to know what's happening. That's why I think she got some Capricorn in her chart.
Excuse me, y'all.
Somewhere.
Excuse me, y'all.
But I appreciate it though. I appreciate that from TK because like I am on East Coast time, so I know for me mentally, I'll be like, oh, I want to post this at 9 my time, but I'm like, oh, motherfuckers is sleeping. It's 6 a.m. So time did go on, but I did realize I was like, no, it's an afternoon thing. So I do appreciate that because sometimes I do forget stuff.
Look, I do.
I ain't saying you are not a free spirit.
No. She really thinks something different.
Yeah, you're not a free spirit.
I'm free flowing. Monique is
to an extent.
No, you are not.
At the end of the day, you can call me a lot of things, but at the end of the day, if you feel like you're gonna be left up on the corner or shit's not gonna get done, I'm not that person. It'll get done. However, if you need to call at 2:00 in the morning because somebody's trying to kidnap you, don't call Monique. Don't call her for that because she's not gonna answer her phone. Call me because I'll answer my phone and I'll drive to wherever you are. But Monique,
my phone is on do not disturb.
I'm calling the police.
Your phone will be up.
Thank you.
I'm not calling y'all. I'm calling the police.
Thank you. Thank you.
On the season finale of Girlfriends,
Monique dropped TK as a friend and picked up Kiki.
Yeah, you can do that.
And I'm on my mind shit. I'm closing my door. And this is why Girlfriends has brought America together. It's the greatest show ever. And shout out for Netflix for putting out this show and all the classics.
Right, definitely. This is my last wrap-up question. Do y'all feel like, I thought it was a great idea, but do y'all feel like there should be, like Sex and the City, should there be a movie or should there be like a mini series to kind of get that closure?
Wasn't there an issue between one of the girls? Like, was it Jill Marie or something? Like?
Yeah, Tony left and her and Joan didn't talk when she left. So
are they talking now?
Yeah. No, they talk now. They're all like good friends now.
Oh yeah, in real life, yes.
Real life, yes. But I think
on the show.
Oh yeah, on the show they weren't friends. But I would love a closure show. I think all shows deserve. We would love to know where everybody is 10, 15 years later.
That part.
I think it's just fun, even if it doesn't have to be like a movie, but just like a one-off on Netflix or just something to just see what everybody's doing.
So we can skip to the end because I'm gonna watch it anyway. So does Joan ever find a man, or she just never finds a man?
I forgot. Did she get married? I'm not rewatching again. I'm still on Sister.
I'm on episode 7, but when I saw the interview, I don't think she ever gets married. I don't know.
Yeah, then there should be an ending episode.
Yeah, because Joan's goal was a man, and that's why I loved Joan, and I loved the way she looked and her style. But I just was like, oh no, I'm not a Joan because I'm not looking for a man.
Yeah, she was like really in dire.
She's like the Charlotte. She's like, I gotta have a man today.
Yes.
Though she's the leader of the pack, and people would say she's the carry, but she's actually the Charlotte because Sister was always looking for a man.
Yeah. What is wrong with?
Yeah. It's nothing wrong with it. I just felt like Joan. Like there's nothing wrong with it.
Desperate. You don't want to be desperate,
right? I'm not jacking it, and I'm not gonna drag this because I'm not dragging the women who are just looking for men or the men who are just looking for men. I think as women, because there's something I'm learning too. Like I want a man. But I'm also in a part of my life where I'm like, I'm going to be fine if I don't end up with one. And that's something I'm working on.
Right.
I feel like Joan
would change herself. She would actually change herself for men. And that's
yeah. Like, no, you're perfect the way you are.
I mean,
she's not perfect, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to change for a guy. But she was on a mission to find her man. But I love Joan.
Right. I love that she was a career woman.
I love that about her.
So, yeah, I definitely feel like that was a good part about her. But, yeah, sometimes I felt like she could get a little desperate for a man. I was just like...
Are you saying Monique is a Joan?
No. I'm saying, I just put my finger up because I want to say something.
Because Monique's above you in my thing, so I thought you were pointing
no. Actually, Monique's actually below me in mine. Oh. But all I want to say is for those folks who are watching the episode, if you want any of the girlfriends on the show, then tag the girlfriends. So then they can get on. This is this is me putting it out there, but maybe I shouldn't because I don't want to step on anybody's toes and get ahead of everything. But just putting it out there.
That'd be awesome.
Yes. So, ladies, that wraps up our episode. I hope that they do have a movie or a miniseries. I would like to see either or. I think Netflix get on it because. I know they said Mara Akil already had like has it already written out or
I want to see it on HBO
or whatnot.
Oh, I would love to see it on HBO.
Yes, HBO would be great on too. HBO, Netflix, whoever, pick it up. Let's get it done. Let's do it. Thank you, Queens, for listening, and y'all let them know where they can find you.
You guys can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom.
And you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad.
And you can find me everywhere. Well, actually, just IG at It's Monique Loveless. And make sure that you catch us every Wednesday. So catch up with the last episode because it was really good. And past episodes because they're getting even better. So make sure you follow us on all social media platforms and catch us every Wednesday on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, or Google, or wherever, because we do have more platforms as well. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Queens Uncut and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Black Queens Uncut. And we love our Queendom family, so rate us, write a review, and if you love this episode, donate. There is a link with the description that you can donate. Show some love, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Queens. Thank you for listening. And this is a tribute to the girlfriends. So
my girlfriends.
Wow.
Right. So thank you, Queens.
Bye.